This is the I'm Not a Hater podcast. Welcome back. If you are a first time viewer, I want to say welcome to you. Listen, click the like, subscribe, and comment at any time. Join me on YouTube, join me on Instagram, join me on TikTok now. Any place you see social media, I'm pretty much there. But welcome. For returning viewers, I appreciate the views, I appreciate the love, the comments, everything that comes with it. And let's get right into it. Listen, this episode is a bunch of random topics just thrown together to make another long form piece. I am talking about everything from Donald Trump getting a Nobel Peace Prize to Camron, Jim Jones, and more. Druski, the comedian, doing a church skit and how people are reacting to it, plus, a lot of other things. But let's get right into it. Listen, Donald Trump finally got his Nobel Peace Prize. Now, to me, it's a bunch of nonsense. He whined about it, whined about not getting one. Obama had one. Um, and some lady got one and then offered it up to him. He's like a kid at a soccer match. Never gets in, never plays, but then ultimately, when trophy time comes, because he's a part of the team, he gets a trophy. I've never seen a person that has done less or promised more and done less get rewarded with people blindly um blindly believing that he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. What exactly has he done for peace? Everything that he has done has stirred up some type of chaos, whether it's ICE agents going crazy in Minnesota or deploying them to different states and it all going bad. Um, whether it's been, promising certain things and they haven't come through, and his supporters, like clockwork, still managed to follow him, still managed to believe that what he is saying is correct. He has never been wrong. He never will be wrong in their eyes. And that type of blind faith can move mountains, countries, worlds, etc. Okay? Everybody should have a group of people like MAGA, because MAGA believes that everything that Donald Trump has done is correct. And I know if this becomes a clip, they're going to fry me in the comments, but oh well, it is what it is. I cannot believe that these people actually believe that he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. He has not done anything. You win a Nobel Peace Prize for doing something distinct in a certain field, okay? Martin Luther King won for his efforts with civil rights and things of that nature. Um, I believe Einstein. I don't know if Einstein, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if he did or didn't, but people that have won Nobel Peace Prizes for like science, they've figured out cures to certain things or formulas to certain things that nobody could ever figure out. Like you done something distinguished. What in the world has Donald Trump done that is distinguished? Please, somebody help me understand today. I will definitely be looking for a comment for this because I'm having a hard time. All he did was get on TV and say he deserved one. And if that's the case, can I get on TV and say I deserve $10 million? Can I get on the internet and say I deserve to be a billionaire and then boom, snap my fingers and it happens? Like, what are we doing here? What are we showing the children? We can whine about stuff and then boom, it'll happen for you. That's not the case. You got to put in hard work. You got to do something legendary. You got to do something distinguished to get those type of awards. Not simply get on TV and talk crazy about people and say, it's these people's fault that this is wrong, and then people believe you, and then boom, you get in. That's not peace. You're creating division, sir. You are not a peace agent. You're an agent of chaos. And that's just what it is. He did not deserve that Nobel Peace Prize. I would hope that he would give it back in good faith, but knowing the type of person he is, he's going to gladly say that he's a Nobel Peace Prize winner now. And shame on that lady for giving up her award. She actually earned it by doing something great, and she gave it up because probably of peer pressure amongst people saying that he actually deserved the award. Shame on her, man. And shame on him for taking it, really, because that's just wild to me. When I even saw the video of it, I was disgusted. It's crazy. But anyway, moving along. Now, listen, I talk about 90s hip hop, rap, etc. all the time. And I'm a little perturbed, a little bothered by the fact that these rappers that are almost 55, some of them nearing 60, can't seem to just make their money in peace and unity. And even if they moving separately, if they was once a crew or whatever moving separately, they can't just make their money. It has to turn into some type of I hate you, you hate me type of competition. And I'm talking about none other than we call him the Dipset, Camron, Jim Jones. Now, this is my take. It's been petty for a few years now. Okay. Now we laugh at Cam because Cam is, witty. He has like, crazy one-liners with the jokes. Um, and we kind of like, just look at Jim like, oh, the second in command, the errand boy, right? But Jim had his own wave. He had his own come up too, and you can't ignore it. Where I find the beef to be continuously petty is that it just keeps continuing. It'll go away for a minute, then it'll come back around, and now it's back around again. And we dealing with Jim got his podcast barbershop. It's like a podcast barbershop studio content creation, all wrapped in one. And apparently they've been having some issues with the heat. They've been recording the podcast. You can see it. It's on YouTube. They record their podcast. They got jackets on. I mean, fly jackets though. That Dipset Pelly was lit. But Cam got a hold of it. 50, of course, the biggest troll in hip hop. 50 Cent got a hold of the footage, and they just ran Jim into the ground. And it's like, yo, Jim is trying to get money in a different space. He knows that, the rapping is over, right? For most people at this age, they're not making new music. He may come out with a song every now and then, Jim that is, but just like Cam, he realized content space is where it's at. So Jim is trying his luck at it. And they got a cool podcast, him, Fab, Dave East, Mano, they got a cool podcast, but with that heat being off or the lights, and you see all these Instagram videos, people, I don't know who is recording it and sending it to Cam. Jim need to find that out. Like, who in your crew is actually recording all your mishaps and sending them directly, or how is Cam getting them? How is 50 getting them? Because there's somebody in your crew you got to watch out for. And that's, you could parlay that to life too. You gotta watch out people around you, man. Not everybody that says they for you is for you. Sometimes it's gonna be snakes in the grass. You gotta cut your grass all the time. You gotta mow. See who's really with you. Check their temperatures at all times. Because people who say they with you, man, the first sign that somebody, is against you, man, your enemies start getting one up on you out of nowhere. That means somebody is sending information about you to other people, man. You gotta wake up. Jim gotta wake up and see everybody that he got around him, man. He need to check them or get rid of them, because this ain't, this ongoing beef with Cam. It ain't it. Not saying that they were supposed to just continue to just make music and do all that forever, because everything has its time, right? Time and the place. But come on, man. How is Jim constantly the guy that's always getting ridiculed, man? It's not cool. Leave that man alone. Let him do what he's doing. Now, if it works, it works. If it fails, I'm sure Jim will figure it out. But, as of right now, back off of him, man. Let him be. It is what it is. I just hope they can resolve it, man. I don't know if they ever going to be cool again. Who's to say? It's not for us to say. That's for them to figure out. But my estimation, man, they can rock in different spaces and still do their things respectively. They don't have to be buddy Nobody has to. I just feel like sometimes when you just go overboard on a person, man, you really just you're making it hard for them, and that's just not cool to me. But who am I? I'm just a podcaster. Who am I? But anyway, moving along. Listen, Druski got a lot of people upset with his mega church skit. Now, if you haven't seen it, it depicts currently what's happening in some, what they call mega churches, these huge churches that have, thousands and thousands of members. He was seen riding in from the sky, and that was done by a pastor somewhere. I've seen that YouTube video several times. Um, he just kind of depicted what's going on in churches today, and a lot of people laughed, and a lot of people were upset. Of course, my take on the whole thing is this: you got to be able to laugh at yourself sometimes, right? You can't be all serious 100% of the time. Now, to the church people who felt offended, if it's not going on in your church, what are you mad about? Is your pastor riding through on a zip line every Sunday? No. If he's not doing that, now listen, I could take two approaches here. I could take that approach, and I could also say, you know, everybody now has their services recorded. Okay? Everybody now, for most places, most churches, are on YouTube. There's clips. Everybody's got shorts on YouTube. You can see them. Religious pastors, most of them mega churches, etc. Okay, but even the small churches have their services being recorded. What I would call small churches have their services being recorded daily. Do you think Druski would have had the ammunition if he didn't see this stuff on a daily basis? Now, I'm not saying that churches shouldn't record, but maybe you should think about it before you do it. I know you're trying to get your message out to the world like everybody is, but there's, different ways you could do it that don't require the internet, because these content creators, comedians, etc. are going to use this type of stuff that you guys do against you. All right, having Bentleys and all the nice things are great, but it just ties into what people feel like church is a business. There's a part 2 to his skit where he's using a money counter too. Check that out if you really want to. But people start to feel like church is a business. It's not based on biblical principles anymore. It's just based on how much money they can take in, and this is the feeling from people from the outside that don't know. If you don't go on a regular basis and you just go off of what you hear and see and don't do the information for yourself, you'll believe a skit like Druski is what's happening in the churches. But then if you do that deep dive and you see that, pastors are doing these elaborate things these days, smoke signals and all this other stuff to get the congregation, you're going to believe that that's what happens. And not all churches is that happening in. Some churches, some pastors are getting up every Sunday, they bring in the word, and that word is touching people and allowing them to join their church with no frills, no smoke signals needed. You have to decipher for yourself. You can't believe everything that is shown to you in the world. If you just go off of that, then you'll never believe in anything. But if you believe in God, you believe in Jesus Christ, then you'll have a discernment. You'll see about what's real and what's fake. You can discern through it. Now that comes with time. You're not just going to get up one morning and be able to discern everything. You have to go through some things and discern what's right and what's wrong. Pick out the good parts and see the bad, and then move accordingly. And I'm not trying to have a sermon here. I'm just talking to you about the difference between the skit and what's really happening in churches. Okay, people will point out the bad in the skit, but not point out the fact that there are pastors who act like this. And it's not to condemn them or anything like that, not at all. But at the same time, if you're going to be mad at Druski, then in the same breath, I think you should kind of look at these pastors and say, hey, why don't you just get back to the word? It don't need all this other stuff with it. If you just get up and just preach about the man that they call Jesus and what he has done or what he is going to do for the world, I'm pretty sure that will save a soul beyond, again, smoke signals, fireworks, and riding in on flying trapezes. But that's just me. Who am I? Again, just a podcaster. I don't know too much, but that's just me. So listen, the final thing I'm gonna talk about is this. Listen, when you hit rock bottom, people always like, oh man, I'm at my lowest point. I don't think I can go on anymore. And it's nothing wrong with that feeling. Okay, I don't want to, bypass over anybody's feelings, but you have to get back up. You cannot stay at the bottom. If you sit at the bottom, you are basically giving yourself ammunition to just stay there. But you got to keep fighting. I definitely am a person who believes that when you hit rock bottom, it's just a way for you to climb back up to the top, because there's nowhere else for you to go but up. You got to just believe that, have that belief, have that strong belief in yourself to know that I've got to climb back up to this top. Now, it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're going to just automatically zoom back up to the top. There's going to be some more trials and tribulations that come your way, but you have to, in the back of your mind, believe that better days are coming. And I just want you, if you out there and you feel like, this is a rough point in your life, things may not be going right, left or right, you feel like nobody's there, you feel like you don't have anybody you could lean on, just play this part over. Better days are coming. You got to know that, you got to believe it. And it may be difficult if you don't have a belief system, but I'm here to tell you that if you just keep fighting daily, just take one step at a time. Sometimes slow wins the race. Everybody's not speeding through life. Some people are taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, and that's how they get to where they need to go. And if you just do that, then I guarantee you that you will get back to where you once were with more. Okay? Just guarantee that. As long as you stay faithful to your race that you're running and not somebody else's, stay faithful to your race, you will get back to where you need to be, again, with more. With that being said, listen, this is Mr. Brown from the I'm Not a Hater podcast, man. I'm just out here just talking about a few things. Trump getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Jim and Cam, Dipset, settle your beef, please. Druski, he upset a lot of people, but it also opened a lot of eyes about what's happening in today's churches. And finally, listen, rock bottom don't mean the end. Rock bottom means a new beginning. Peace and love. This is the I'm Not a Hater podcast.